What's going on, everybody? This is Dave from This is Pop Punk Promotions. I'm here with Chris from Hangman from Brighton, England. How's it going, Chris?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing great. Really appreciate you coming on. Let's dive right into it. So, when and how did you guys form?
So me and James, we both moved to Brighton in the UK to study music. So yeah, we both went to it's called BIM, which is a music college in Brighton. We started a band, like 2010. We were a emo pop punk band called Echo Rain, a four-piece band. Terrible name. Uh, but yeah, basically when that we played in that band for about 2, 3 years, and then when that split up, we kind of were like, should we just keep doing it? So yeah, and with a little of rejigging, we sort of replaced having a bass player with splitting the guitar signal and doing all that, and here we are, 12 years later, still doing it.
You guys are veterans of the scene.
Yeah, yeah, we've been around.
That's awesome. I mean, personally, I think Echo Rain's a pretty dope name, but that's just me.
Yeah, I don't know. We were young. Like maybe we look back at it and we're like, could have spent more time picking that name, but I don't know. Is Hangman any better? Who knows?
I mean, they're both sick, so it's all good.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's awesome. So, in October, you guys dropped Paper Street. How's the response been to it?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been cool. Like, um, as I say, we've been a band for a while. We've been working on it for a long time. Some of those songs have been in the works for like up to 5 years. Some of them came together in like three practices. But yeah, it's been really cool to actually have a full album. Um, and yeah, we went on tour in October to push it and stuff, and it's had some really good response. We put it out on vinyl. Um, a lot of people picked it up, said nice things. We've done a lot of BBC introducing stuff as well. They seem to be really keen on it. So yeah, they had us in to do like a BBC Live lounge session just at the end of the year. So yeah, it's been great.
That's uh that's how you know you're doing it right. That's really
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, it's nice and validating. And some of the songs we've been playing for a while, so like it's nice that we could be like, this is the album, and there are songs on there that people, especially in Brighton, where we're from, can sing the words back, and yeah, and then going to surrounding cities and towns, and people singing the words, it's quite surreal. It's really nice.
That's really sick. So who did you guys record it with and how's the process?
So we recorded with a guy called Daily George. He's the nicest human being in the world. He works at the Ranch studio in Southampton. So that's like 2 hour drive for us, just along the coast. It's a really cool studio. It's literally a converted barn, like on a farm. So it's just in the middle of nowhere. Um, and we kind of recorded it in bits because life getting in the way. We basically did 3 days at a time. We did three lots of three. Um, I also work in a rehearsal and recording studio, so anything that we didn't get done that we could get away with doing at my work, we did that. So like all the bass I tracked at my work. So and then just sent it to him to then reamp it and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird doing it like that. I've been in other bands where it's been like we're going to do 2 week solid recording. Um, I don't know whether I preferred it or not because it felt like it was taking a long time to come together. But at the same time, it was quite nice to come away after 3 days and reflect on what you got back and come up with ideas and let it sort of breathe rather than sort of trying to rush it because of time constraints.
Must have been very rewarding to finally, get it out to the world and, hear, feedback from different people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I say, it was a long time coming. It took us a while to actually get it finished. Um, and then it took a while for us to actually get it recorded and get the final product. And then, you kind of sit on it for a bit because you're trying to like get all the press stuff right and get videos down. And it's just like, I don't know, in the excitement, you're just like, I just want to put it out. I just want people to hear it. Um, so like, we started our album campaign at the start of last year. So in February, the first single dropped, and like running through till October when the album dropped it's quite a long time. But I guess at the same time, we wanted to, not just be like, "Look, we spent so much time and money on this album, like here you go, here it is," and sort of build up the momentum with it and put like more singles out. And we did a lot of live session stuff and sort of in between the videos to try and keep momentum up. And I think it kind of worked. It's a learning process as well because I run the label that we put it out on, but I'm learning just as much as anyone else. I'm like, uh, here's what I think we should do. Whether that works or not, like we'll see. But I think it's gone really well, and I'm yeah really proud of it.
Right on. So, what would you say your favorite and your least favorite thing is about the writing and recording process?
Um, my favorite, my favorite is jamming with James. Like with us being a two piece, when we get in a room, like it's really easy to bounce off each other. I might write like a verse and a chorus. Like I don't really ever go with like a finished song idea. I'm just like, here's a rough riff and like some vocals, and we kind of build it from there. Um, which is really nice because as much as it works for other bands, just being like, here's the finished thing, like learn it. It's nice just being creative with someone, and obviously I've been playing with James for a long time, so we bounce off each other really well. Um, I'd say my least favorite is is probably writing lyrics, and that sounds kind of crazy, but it's I suppose the lyrical content of the album is really like deep and personal, and it can feel quite vulnerable when you're like putting stuff down and you're like, oh, I don't know if that's, I tend to overthink things. so you, so you write it down and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to sing that. Or like, if I do, I hope nobody ever asks me about it, or. And then I'm like, well, the song's cool and it needs some lyrics. But yeah, I do tend to struggle with finishing lyrics purely because I'm feeling exposed and vulnerable.
I can imagine coming up with lyrics really, really hard.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to write a lot down. Like, I've got notes after notes in my phone, but like actually then putting them to a song, I tend to leave a lot of it till the last minute. And it's not because they're not there, it's just because I I'm not sure whether I want to commit them to be on a song out in the world for anyone to hear. But I don't know. When you move past that and you're just like, yeah, this song's cool. Like I've never sort of been like, I'm going to change the lyrics once they're done. It's more, I'm going to keep it really loose until right up until the moment I'm in front of the microphone in the booth, and I'm like, well, I kind of have to do it now. So yeah, that's not that least favorite isn't probably the best word, but it's probably the hardest part for me. Yeah,
Once you get to that point, you just, got to go balls to the wall. You can't, go
yeah,
back. Just got to keep trucking, keep on pushing forward.
yeah, and that's why I love working with Daly because as I say, he's like the friendliest dude in the world, and like we worked with him on previous EPs and in other bands, and like have been working with him for a long time. Like he's into a lot of the same music we are, and he's just really, in terms of a producer, just really like encouraging, and it never feels difficult or awkward. He knows exactly what to say to get a good performance out of you, and yeah, he's just as much into the record as we are, which is great because if you're recording with someone that it kind of just feels like I don't know if they're that into it. Whereas if they're as excited as you are, it just really pushes you to do your best.
That's awesome. What's one piece of advice that he has given you that you've been able to like go forward with?
Um, be in tune. I I mean, he's inspiring to watch. Like attention to detail is crazy. You know, I'd be sat there, we'd be setting up the drums for like what feels like hours, and I'm like, this is crazy. And he's like moving the snare, hitting the snare, being like, no. And then he'll move it like a centimeter and hit the snare again, and he's like, nope. And I'm just there like, what are we doing? But then when he plays back like the drums that are just in the room sound with the exact position of where he's built the kit, you're like, fuck, there's no mixing on that. Like that's just what it sounds like. And I think it's just his attention to detail and experience. His ear for it is just insane. And I think that's just inspiring. So in terms of learning stuff from him, yeah, just like if I'm tracking some stuff like at home or whatever, like doing demos or anything like that, it's just like being in tune, making sure stuff sounds right. It's making sure you're happy with the original sound before you kind of move forward. Yeah,
I think that would drive me absolutely nuts. I think I would like pull my hair out.
yeah, yeah. I mean, at the time, I'm like, surely that doesn't make that much difference, but I can't fault it. You know, when you hear it back and you're like, I take it back. You know, take as much time as you need. Like it sounds great. It's just always such a nice experience.
Got to trust the professional.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome. So you're from Brighton, England. How's the pop punk, the punk rock scene there? Do you have a favorite local band, favorite venue?
Um, it's good. I would say so. I moved here from like Sheffield, which is up north. I've been here for what 16, 17 years. I moved here purely for the music scene. Moved here to study music. There are so many venues in Brighton. I've actually worked in venues here for years now. Um, I, and I suppose I'm biased, but there's a venue called the Hope and Ruin, which is my home from home. I worked there for 8 years as the in-house booker. Um, I promote shows as well as run a label, so I've got a lot of love for these venues, and the Brighton scene is incredible. There's a lot of emo coming up, um, like I wouldn't say so much pop punk, but more like emo, grungy stuff. A couple of bands that I work with a lot and absolutely love. One is called Prom. Um, they're incredible. Three-piece band. They sound kind of balance and composure, kind of basement. But they're killing it, and they're like really hardworking guys. Um, Another band is Had Sandy. Um, they're incredible as well. They're like early 20s and they just churn out song after song after song, and I'm just like, how are you writing so many bangers? Like let 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 me write some. Share it around. So yeah, I have to shout those guys out. They're incredible. That's Prom and Had Sandy. If you want to check them out, they're great. I'm actually putting out both of those bands on my label, so yeah, I love them, and I hope they do really well. I'm sure they will.
It's really sick. So who would you say your biggest influences are?
Uh, that's a tough one. I mean, me and James both grew up listening to like the usuals, Blink 182. Um, and then I suppose moving forward from that, I'm kind of still more in that pop punk and emo vibe. Like, the story so far, absolutely love. But then some more softer stuff like The Dangerous Summer, um, The Hotelier, Motion City Soundtrack are probably one of my favorite bands. So, like our name actually comes from the song Hangman, Motion City Soundtrack. Um, and then I guess with that, James listens to a lot more heavier stuff, a lot of like tech metal. Um, so yeah, it's a bit of a spectrum. Like yeah, like Glassjaw are one of my favorite bands, but obviously Hangman don't sound like Glassjaw. But you know, Head Automatica when I was younger, I was just like obsessed. I'm like, I suppose more that like pop vibes, and then James brings in the heavy shit. Um, so yeah, trying to think. Tiger's Jaw, absolutely love them. You know that wave of bands like Modern Baseball, the Front Bottoms. Yeah, I think when we started Hangman. It was around the time that that Hotelier record had dropped, and we were like, we want to sound like this. So it was a lot of that, but coming from where we'd already been with like Blink 182, Taking Back Sunday, Paramore. It kind of had that pop punky vibe to it. Yeah.
Here's $1 million question for you. If you could tour with one of those bands, who would it be?
Uh, any of them, please take us on tour. I don't know. Like, obviously, touring is uh, like you want to get on with those guys. I feel like Motion City Soundtrack would be pretty fun. Um, but yeah, I don't know any of them. Please take us on tour.
Any of them would be absolutely incredible. Can't go wrong
Yeah,
with any of them.
yeah,
That's awesome. So now I'm going to ask you some non-music questions. It's a good way for me to get to know you as a person. I did this with the other bands. Are you ready to roll?
yeah. Cool. No pressure.
First one, favorite dessert.
Oh, favorite dessert. I mean, I'm a sucker for profiteroles. You know the yeah profiteroles. Do you have?
Never heard of it. It must be a,
Oh,
England thing.
it's like choux pastry in a bowl with like cream and like chocolate on top. Um, they're amazing. I mean, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so with dessert, I'm kind of like, uh, yeah, I shouldn't, but I dabble.
I can't help myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oof, now I'm getting really hungry. I'm gonna have to go and figure out how I can get them shipped over here from England.
yeah. You totally should. They're so worth it. I don't know if they travel well though, because they are just like balls of cream. So
Got to go through all the logistics.
yeah, yeah, worth it though.
So if you could be fluent in another language instantly, which one and why?
Uh, Probably Spanish. I would say I don't know why. I've never really thought about it. I suppose Spanish is quite commonly spoken around the world, so I feel like that would be a, a, a good thing to have. Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah, and you know, it's fast and furious and like anyone speaking Spanish, it sounds like an argument, but it's not. It's just so passionate. Like to be able to reel off anything that quick, you know, it's impressive.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. So if you had $1 million and you could donate to any charity, which one?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, I mean, there's one. It's very specific to Brighton, but there's one in Brighton called Mind, and it's a mental health charity. Um, you know, I think mental health's really important. I always think if yeah, that would be close to my heart, you know.
That's a great one. Can never go wrong with mental health.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. All right, last question. What are some places in Brighton that visitors should check out?
Well, if you're in Brighton, I mean, we've got the pier. The pier's pretty cool. Like it's a must do if you're a tourist. Um, there are so many cool spots in Brighton. All the music venues. So you've got the Hope and Ruin, Green Door Store, the Prince Albert. You've got Dalton's on the seafront. You've got Concord 2. Brighton is such a happening place with gigs going on every night. Like any night of the week, you can go to at least four different gigs. So I would say if you're in Brighton and you're into live music, definitely go check those places out. Um, the lanes is the common tourist attraction where it's basically a load of lanes with like cool shops. You've got like vintage clothing shops, record shops, loads of cafes, loads of cool pubs and places to get drinks and yeah. Um, yeah. Also tattoo shops. We've got so many tattoo parlors. Um, so come to Brighton, eat some tasty food, get a tattoo, go to a rock show. Done.
Sounds like the perfect plan.
Yeah, yeah. So when are you coming?
Hopefully, well, this summer I can't because I'm going to Spain for a wedding, but maybe the following summer, keep your eyes peeled because I'm trying to get back to England and see more of it. And Brighton's definitely high on the list.
Hell yeah.
So
Well,
you
yeah,
can
give
take
me
me
a
to all those
shout.
spots.
Yeah, give me a shout. We'll get some profiteroles.
Oh, absolutely. And I'll go back to the US and I'll weigh like 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I'll be so fat.
Yeah, you'd have to get two seats for the return
Yeah.
flight.
Sorry, but like I'm taking up like all three seats because I had like 20 of these bad boys like when I was over in England. So like you're gonna have to go sit somewhere else.
Exactly. With your pockets filled as well.
And I'll have like, 20 CDs like in my pockets from, the record shops and I'll be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely give me a shout if you're over this way.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you, Chris, coming on and chatting a little bit, and the support means the world to me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It's an absolute pleasure.
Of course. So, for the people that are going to watch this interview later, where can they find your music at?
So we're on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. The band name is Hangman. It's spelt without the A's. It's underscores instead of the A's. Um, we're also on Bandcamp, YouTube Music, wherever you listen to music, really.
Do what the man says. Go to the websites, listen to the music, buy a CD, buy a vinyl, buy a shirt. Chris, keep kicking ass.
Thank you so much for having me.
I hope you have a great night, and we'll chat soon.
Nice one. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.